Episode 64 of Multiplaying is brought to you by Game Day, official beer of the 2011 Royal Wedding.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
And this is Multiplaying. On the show tonight, we have the triumphant return of John.
Woohoo!
The triumphant return of Dean.
Hello, everyone.
The 1 week later return of Jason.
Hello.
And I never leave this damn place. It's me, Steve. What is everybody drinking tonight? John, starting with you. What's up, buddy?
Well, I am lacking any kind of drink whatsoever because as soon as we're done here, me and Jen are gonna drive over to somewhere else. So
Hot.
yeah.
Where you guys going to go bang at?
Make out point.
Make out point.
That's the place right there. It's a classic.
You're a homeowner now.
Yeah.
So you got to find, how far away are you from the old place, though?
Let's see, probably about 15 minutes.
Wow.
10 to 15 minutes. So, and actually, it's funny because we moved in such a direction on the map that it's almost exactly the same distance from work.
So the important question is, when Shannon and I come back to visit the Orlando area, are you still going to be able to blow us off?
Well, actually, you'll be able to stay with us because we have multiple rooms.
Hot.
Ooh.
Then they'll blow you off.
Were you
And then
able
we'll-
to keep Maria?
Yeah, are you bringing Maria? Did you pack her up yet in a box?
Yeah, don't you hear?
No, I can't.
Let me out of this box. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
She really is in the box.
Did you expand the solarium? Is it bigger now?
Yeah, we
Did you add a conservatory too?
yeah, we upsized. So
Okay.
You have telescopes in there?
yeah,
That's classy when you have telescopes.
yeah,
in there.
we've got an astronomy room. Yeah, it's
Telescopes and wood paneling.
yep, telescopes and wood paneling. A very
Nice.
steampunk design in there.
Do you have
paneling?
Funkin' Wagnalls encyclopedias in there?
I do. The full collection.
That's
Wow.
how you know you're smart.
Yep.
Dean, what are you sipping on tonight?
I'm drinking a Guinness, but it's out of the can, not the bottle, because the bottle got rid of the widget, and that's...
They did?
Yeah, so I feel like a savage drinking a bottle of Guinness now because there's no widget. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get the cans, and I'm about to crack this one open.
Yeah!
Oh,
God,
yeah.
God, that's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice frothy head pouring out of here.
Hot.
Are you all right, Jason?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just can you drink it right now, Dean?
Wait, hold on.
So,
I'm looking at the head.
take off the top.
It's still going.
Is it?
It's still going.
I bet it
Okay,
is.
I'll take a sip.
Oh God, that sounds so good.
It's fucking tasty.
This episode is brought to you by Guinness,
Better than
official-
candy.
the official beer of my
Official
pants.
soft drink of the 2011 Royal Wedding.
There you go.
Jason, what are you drinking?
I'm actually drinking a chocolate porter from a local brewery, 4th Street Brewery here. It's really, really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't really pop it. We bought a growler of it, so I'm
Yum.
just drinking.
All right. And I am drinking an Amaretto Sour.
Nice.
So-
That's like
You're
your
drinking
classic-
alcohol. That's like a grown-up drink.
It's like a grown. Fuck you very much. But it's not real. It's like a girl's grown up drink, though. But whatever. It's tasty. I like it. What has everybody been playing? Last week was a different show. We basically only talked about Portal 2 and Monday Night Combat. So I'm sure we got a few things to talk about. Let's start up with the person that hasn't been here the longest, John. What have you been playing?
Well, I've been obsessively playing Dragone Age 2, and
All
I
right.
finally conquered that game. And holy
Conquer.
crap.
Like you stood over it triumphantly.
Yeah, and then teabagged it.
Because that's what Conqueror
You made it
do.
your bitch.
You
Yeah,
were wearing
yeah.
your loincloth, so it was only appropriate.
Jesus.
So yeah, I've been doing that, and Lots of.
What
lots of,
did you think, John, at the end?
You know, I like the end. It was very, very similar to the Mass Effect 2 climax ending kind of thing. Where it completely sets up the third game. And the combat system notwithstanding, because that's just a whole different discussion. The story and all the stuff like that is still very, very good and really kept me enthralled with the game. I don't like that it's not as deep as Origins, like as intricate. But in the end, it still sets up for the last installment. So
let me ask you. You say combat's very different, and I played the demo of it, and it was very different. But during the demo, it was fun. I mean, was the combat fun to you?
It's not that it's not fun. It's just that it keeps throwing it in your face that it's supposed to be awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Like
it's
like major set pieces when like in events that really doesn't warrant it.
That and it works. It's cool, but like they dumbed down a lot of the spell combinations. Like there's still a lot of good spell combos that you can do, but some of the ones in Origins were really obscure and awesome. So they took a lot of those out because no one ever knew about them, and they made it into this like this just kind of cross-class combo thing where it's like if a warrior disorients something, then a rogue can like take advantage of it and that kind of thing. So it works still. It's still. Anyway, so like for example, you'd be like running from one thing to another. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go deliver a letter to my uncle, and then it'd be like, okay, cool. And then you're like running across, and then all of a sudden you get mugged by like 3 mobs of random thugs that have no bearing on the story or anything like that. And it's not that the combat wasn't fun; it's just that it does that so often.
It's because you're in Kirkwall Night. There's bad people in Kirkwall Night.
Yeah. Yeah, so every time you went anywhere, you would get mugged by 3 gangs of people. And
do the freaks come out at Kirkwall Night?
Yeah. It's
They do. Okay.
I mean, it was still fun. It was still fun overall, but it was just like I was like, wow, you guys really didn't have to put this many random encounters. It felt like Final Fantasy, where you're just trying to get to the next town. You know, and you're like, I'm almost there.
Like the glass shatter sound and everything warped.
Yeah, he's like, I'm almost there. Like, no!
And Wayne and Garth showed up.
Yeah. Yep.
So, anyway, John, I have a question for you, and I'm going to try to be as spoiler free as possible with this. So there's a what?
Who'd you bang?
Yeah, who'd you bang, John?
Who did I bang?
Yeah, who'd you bang?
Yeah, who'd you bang?
Well, I was kind of. Huh?
Did you bang several?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. I bet you
Who
did.
did you bang, right? Am I right?
First it was Anders, then it was Meryl, and then it was the next.
No, I didn't do any men.
Oh.
And I get a 1-up for that. extra life for not banging men.
Sorry.
So who'd you bang?
I did Meryl and Isabella.
Yeah, I bet you did, huh?
Yeah, but it turned out that the romance end up going with Meryl. So at the very end of the game. So I mean, I was fine with that, but I was just like, whatever. I'm gonna probably play it a few more times.
Let me ask a question because my sister was a major Dragone Age 1 fan, and she really liked she likes the banging people. So she really liked how that like interwove into the story. One of her main complaints with this game, and she's beaten it 2 or 3 times, was how it was much more like you had to wait to get those relationships going on. Mm-hmm. As opposed to the first one. I mean, do you guys have any like comment, whatever, about that?
Well, it was super easy compared to the first one. Like, I didn't feel like I had to dance around the dialogue or anything. It was just like, it was like when there was a flirt option, you just hit that. It was.
But it did take a while to actually get, the deed done. It wasn't like immediate off the bat. It took until I think like the third, probably the second or third
act. Yeah.
Yeah, so it took a lot of gameplay hours to get in their pants.
But it was like very specific point you had to wait till.
Yeah, it's very specific point you have to wait till, which is kind of like, it's on rails.
Yeah, I think that's what she was complaining about. Not just the, banging, whatever. She's like, it felt she didn't really have much choice in the story until a certain point.
Yeah. Who was her romance option?
I think she banged Anders.
And okay,
yeah.
Did she talk about any of the circumstances that surrounded?
Not to me, no, because
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
John, but my specific question actually was regarding Anders. Crap, I can't talk about it on here. It'll be messed up in a spoiler, so I can't talk about it. Never mind.
Wah, wah. Oh.
Yeah.
Spoilers, there's dragons. Yeah.
Well, all right. But you enjoyed it, though?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll probably beat it a few more times, and because yep,
Okay.
yep.
You know, that's interesting because when you were talking about it leading up to now, your tone of voice and stuff, like I didn't really think you enjoyed the game, really.
No, I really did. I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay. No, I'm not. I'm
And
really.
I'm
I'm
gonna-
really
I'm gonna
not trying to
enjoy-
be hot. I'm really.
No,
not trying to be hot.
I'm
being
really
serious.
I'm going to enjoy beating it again and again.
Okay. God damn it. So, I know you like Dragon Age 1 a lot, and I'm kind of a person where I haven't beaten the first one, and I am intrigued by the second one. I really like the demo, but combat-wise, would you say, like, I mean, how do you compare the two?
Combat wise,
Yeah, because that's the most
It's-
important part of this game. That's what you're doing for the most part.
it's still tactical, but not as much as Origins.
Would you still would it still be in that vein of Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age type of combat where you could assign things?
Yeah, it's just like they took Origins, right? And then they were like, okay, what can we do to make this console friendly?
Yeah.
You know, it was like, so you can still mess with the tactics, you can pause the game, click on all the orders and the enemies and stuff like that, and you can play the game that way, right? So you can still do it that way. Alternatively, you could just mash the R button, which is the auto target, auto hit, like, you know, console
Easy.
type. Yeah, easy mode. Sort of like the Assassin's Creed, like, call in your assassins button.
Press
You know?
A to win.
Yeah, this is like,
I love that button.
so you just mash R and your guy just attacks everything.
Then
know?
you'll love Dragon Age 2.
Yeah. So it doesn't detract from the story at all. It's just that, like, by the time you're in Act 3, you're like, oh, God, another fight.
Let me ask you a question. As a PC player, does that upset you? How much? I mean, what they did to this game?
No. I think the only thing that could have needed tweaking is the volume of thugs that are in Kirkwall that you run across. Other than that, it would have been fine. Because I didn't really get to being, like, noticing it and sort of thinking about it until I was, like, towards the end of the game. And I was like, God, when are the
still
thugs
fighting
gonna
these assholes.
Yeah, when are these people going to give up? So, anyway, like...
Especially when you're hanging around one area, it should be like, they should kind of know me by now.
Yeah,
I can't be going through this many people. I should be running across the same ones.
I've bitch smacked, you know, like, all of these people 3 times just today. They should realize that they can't mug me, you know? But it's just like every
I
quest.
think we're wearing them down, boys.
Yeah, we'll get him this time.
But to add to that, even though, like, you're going through those repetitious fights, but you're also revisiting the same areas over and over. So I think that compounds it a little bit too.
Yeah, the repetition areas do compound it a little bit. It was actually a little strange because the way that they avoid recycling the same map and making it feel the same, even though the actual image looks exactly the same and it's the same exact pattern, they just close off certain doorways. And
Yeah,
open
that drove me crazy.
So I would be like, oh, I'm just going to go the same direction. Wait, this way is blocked. Okay,
Yeah.
go back around, and then, that one's blocked too. Oh, this way's open finally. You know, like, it was... it's the exact same map, but opened up in different sections. So it's a little annoying, but I don't know. I mean, at the same time, I found a lot of secret, like, codex things and random loot that I guess I don't know. It was still annoying, but it's kind of finding the loot.
All right. Well, have you been playing anything else?
I only just started Shogun 2 Total War.
Initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts are it's fucking awesome.
I kind of want
Because
that game.
I am obsessed with Shogun 1. I mean,
I liked that back in the day, yeah.
I have dumped thousands of hours into Shogun.
Really?
No, I haven't done that, but
Unbelievable. I mean, I would spend just night after night, just playing Shogun. And anyway, so it's really awesome. It's like the same game, but, like, updated. They just added little bit more intricate features, and of course graphical updates and things like that. So
The demo I played, the graphics were awesome.
yeah,
Might have to check out the demo.
What's the genre? Is it like a real time strategy or?
it's like Civ kind of.
Okay.
But so it's turn-based strategy most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have your option to go into like a real-time battle state when you actually go into a fight. So like, let's say you come up either against an army or come up to a castle. It'll go from the real-time strategy board, and you have the option. You don't have to do it. You can auto-resolve the battle or whatever. But you have the option to take over the battle by hand, and it turns into an RTS for that particular fight. And then once that battle is over, it goes back to the game board and turn-based mode.
See, I think that's the thing that gets me though, is that the part that I liked the most about Shogun was the real-time strategy fight. I didn't care as much about the turn-based stuff outside of that, and I think that's what eventually stopped me from playing it a whole lot. But like the actual turn-based, not that. Let me start over. The actual real-time strategy stuff and the combat had reminded me of, there was a game that I played on the PlayStation, like the PlayStation 1, like back in the day, that had actually been a PC game to start. It was a Warhammer game called Shadow of the Horned Rat, that it was a real-time game that you actually moved around masses of troops, and that it was very simplified compared to Shogun, but the actual like grouping the units and everything kind of was somewhat similar, and just how they actually clashed against the other like opposing units reminded me a lot of that, and that's what I really dug about Shogun. But yeah, it's the bigger picture stuff I didn't care as much about, but
Okay.
But yeah. Pin drop.
Sorry.
No one cares what you say.
Who is this jackass talking?
No, but yeah. So it's
Apparently you think it's fine.
Uh-huh. Thanks, John.
Yeah.
Welcome back, buddy.
That was my fault, kind of. Sorry, guys.
yeah, we were in discussion about Dragon Age 2.
Yeah, and some stuff that happened that I wanted to ask him about, but I couldn't out loud. So
It was Dean's fault.
yeah,
Lol, what?
Huh?
Nothing. It's spoiler stuff.
yeah.
Anyway, so
What
yeah.
are we talking?
Yeah. Are you guys doing a different podcast or?
yes. Yes.
Yes.
We're actually in Vent recording that right now.
Okay.
You guys, yeah.
All right.
But on a serious note,
God damn it.
Jen is.
Steve, do you
Jen is
want to edit this? Because I don't want to. No, I'm kidding. I will. I'm gonna leave all that in.
Yeah,
Jen's
all of
what?
it.
John?
Jen's pulling me away. It's time to get going. We got to run.
Oh man.
Aw.
Oh,
I know.
No, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, you can go bang whoever. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
We got to go to the point, man.
Tell her I said hi.
But right in the middle.
No, you wait till the end.
Yeah. Jason says hi.
Jason says hi.
Yeah, just, perfect timing. All right. So, anyway. Good night, everyone.
The sad part is, for editing purposes, I have to leave some of this in.
All of it. That's fine.
Yeah.
All of it. Every little last bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't.
All right.
Well, moving on then. Dean,
Oh man, I don't know.
can you follow
Hey.
that up?
Probably not. I have been playing several kind of not so currently mainstream games. The first one that I actually want to talk about is called. It's a independent game by what's her name? Christine Love. There we go. It's called Digital Love Story, and it's actually kind of a weird adventure game thing. It's set in 1988. Mm-hmm. And it actually plays out in kind of like an Amiga inspired, like old Amiga inspired computer interface. And it's about a guy who gets a modem, and you're actually that guy or girl, depending on who you are. And
Okay.
And you get dial-up access to BBSs. Well, it's really interesting because you basically dial into a BBS and you find that the character has been messaging back and forth with this girl named Amelia, and that she's falling in love with you. And you play the game out by responding to email messages and by frequenting different bulletin board systems. So you actually dial up, you type in a phone number, you dial up to a BBS, you go through their little message boards, you reply to messages, you open messages and all that stuff, and get to interact with NPCs in that way. So it's very interesting. It's like you're on this very unique operating system actually playing back in the 80s. So it's got a really cool retro feel. So you go through these messages with this girl that is apparently falling in love with you. And when you reply back, you don't actually see what the player character is replying. So you only see the NPC's replies back to you. So it's really interesting because you get to kind of make up a little bit of the story in your head. But what ends up happening, this isn't really a spoiler or anything, but what ends up happening is that NPC, something bad happens and she disappears. And you spend the rest of the game attempting to find her. And so you find out some really, really interesting things about her past, I guess you could say, and where she comes from, who she is, and all that stuff. But you have to call up to these other BBSs, and there's a bunch of different little puzzles that you do. Like, for instance, you have to call into long-distance bulletin board systems, and in order to do that, you have to get what's hilarious is it's Sprint, but you have to get Sprint phone numbers, like local telephone numbers and long distance access codes so that you can dial long distance without getting charged on your phone bill. It sounds really dorky, but it's awesome because it's like a puzzle. You have to figure out how to get this information, and then you have to use it to call these long distance BBSs in order to interact with more NPCs to get more of the story and to find out what happened to your love interest. And it's actually I can't get too far into it because you find out some really, the plot is really cool. And just the way that she exposes this plot to you with these email replies and by calling into different BBSs and finding out these different things is just, it's so unique that talking about it too much would really spoil the experience. So I guess I'll kind of leave it at that. If you have a desire to play a game with a retro feel and you really like adventure games, totally try this game out. It's probably like nothing you've ever played.
I was just looking at some of the screenshots. It looks very retro.
Yeah, it looks very retro, but the interface it's kind of updated enough so that it doesn't feel super old. Like, okay, you can just hit reply. It's not cumbersome like those old interfaces were. I mean, it's updated so that you can actually play the game and stuff.
You can actually click on shit.
Yeah, you can actually click on the reply button and it works and stuff like that. So I guess one of the coolest, like, there's a couple like hacking puzzles and stuff where you have to call into BBS and then figure out a password. There's another puzzle where you have to exploit a bug in the BBS software. And it's really cool because the game doesn't tell you exactly how to do it. You figure out through reading these messages that there is this bug out here, and you encounter a BBS that you can't get into. And then at that point, you find out that the BBS is running the software that has the bug, and then you kind of suss out what kind of, like, how to exploit it and what password to use. So it's got some little hacking elements in it. It's very cool. It's very fun. So if that sounds interesting to anybody out there, I would totally recommend you play it. It takes about an hour to 2 hours or so.
To go through it?
Yeah, to go through it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's very fun. I guess I could compare it slightly to God, what's that game? I can't remember. It's like a hacking game that came out.
So you can't compare it to shit.
Dead Space.
Yeah, it's like Dead Space. It's kind of like a survival horror, except without the survival and without the horror. So.
And the graphics.
And the graphics and the and the guy in the spacesuit and the
ship.
The ship, and yeah. So
there's computers.
There's computers, yeah. Other than that, I've also last Sunday I got kind of bored, and I had bought Loom on Steam a long time ago. Loom, the old LucasArts game.
Yeah.
Hot damn! I love that game. It's so fun.
Never
Short
played
as
it.
hell. You've never played Loom?
No, that was way before my PC gaming days.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Well,
See,
okay. My PC gaming day started with Half-Life.
Oh,
Dude.
God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so sad.
You missed out on a lot.
Yeah,
I
you did.
I went back and played quite a bit, I will say, but
Well, in 1989, way back in 1989, LucasArts released the Classic Adventures Pack, which included Loom. And so I played that probably, I think, in like 1990 or 1991 on my computer way back in the day. It was all 16 colors and stuff. And it's what the most unique thing about that game is it's like a regular point and click adventure game, but then at the same time you're from a guild of weavers, and weavers, they use distaffs in order to weave 4 note, like musical note patterns, which are essentially magical spells that have an effect on the environment around you. And so you can open things, you can dye things, you can twist, you can untwist, you can make things invisible, you can see in the dark and stuff like that. And so as you go through the game, you point and click on things, you learn these different kind of magical spells, which you weave on your keyboard. And it's not, what's funny is that I come back and I play Loom and I'm comparing it to Magicka, kind of, because you're using the keyboard in order to cast magical spells and stuff like that. So it's not at all the same genre or anything, but it's kind of got the same element there. But yeah, you just go through the game and you solve these puzzles by using these magical spells. So like, for instance, farther on in the game there, you'll encounter these shepherds who are having an issue with a dragon trying to steal their sheep. And your solution is and they're in this big green grassy field. Your solution is to cast a dye spell over the sheep and turn them all green, so that the dragon can't see the sheep. So it's pretty cool. It only takes sorry, go ahead.
at least you didn't run into the type of shepherd that wanted to sleep with you.
Well, yeah.
And that had a companion Ugnaught or Urgnaught.
The first shepherd that you encounter is sleeping, but he's not sleeping with anybody. So I guess it's safe. No, it's just cool. The game is fun. It's short. It's like 2 or 3 hours, I think. And what's funny is that when you learn the magical spells, the game doesn't tell you what they are. So you have to write them down. So I have this piece of paper, like this just piece of printer paper with all these stupid spells on them because I couldn't remember them. And you use them when you have to go through puzzles and stuff. It's fun.
That sounds hard. Writing things down.
Jason, would you say
it's the old days? That's
I
how
know.
you did stuff.
It's pretty satisfying though, and the graphics.
You didn't go buy a map. You drew a map.
Oh, it's not like that. It's not like.
From what I remember, that's one of the shortest adventure games out there. Like it wasn't terribly long, but it was pretty satisfying.
Was it pre the first Monkey Island, or was it after the first Monkey Island?
It was about the same. Monkey Island 1 came out in 1989 or 1990, I think.
I think it was right around the same time.
See, because I went back and played a bunch of games like that. Monkey Island was one of the ones that I went back and played, but I never picked up Loom.
Loom is not like any other LucasArts adventure game at all. It stands out completely unique because it doesn't have the SCUM interface.
Okay.
Where you have like walk to, open,
right,
stuff like that. I mean, you have a mouse, you click on stuff, you learn magical spells, and those magical spells are used in order to, interact with the environment as opposed to like verb commands or whatever. So
very, very unique for the time.
It really was like, and I remember even back then I was like, I've never played anything like this, and I still haven't. Like they don't really make adventure games quite like that one. It's very cool. It's very, very fantasy as well.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't have to go into the other thing. We can move on.
No, you have to.
Yeah,
because
at
that's
this
what's written on the doc. If you don't say it, I'm going to say it.
We're going to call you out.
So the PS3 released this new game called Free Realms.
And you say it's it's a horrible thing.
It's not a horrible thing.
Well, I was playing on the PS3.
I've spent time farming in Free Realm, so there you go.
Well, here's the thing about farming in Free Realm. Okay, so they came out with the PS3 version. It's not compatible with the PC version, so
that's a major issue.
Well, I have a lifetime account for Free Realms, right? It was like $35 or something.
On PC?
Yeah.
Okay.
And because it's not cross platform, you only get number one, you only get one character on the PS3 version. You can't delete that character, and it's not compatible with. No, you can't delete it, and it's not compatible with your PC account.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's a bunch of bullshit. So I log into the PS3 version of Free Realms, and it boots up, goes to character creation. I'm in the world. I'm like, what the fuck? Where do I put in my account information?
It's a very serious problem, because when Free Realms came out, they said due to whatever issues they could not do cross-platform between PC and PS3, and to see Valve come out about a month later with Portal 2 and be able to do what they did, I mean, that makes it seem like, okay, what the fuck, you could have done it.
Right.
Well, and we've also been waiting. People who have played Free Realms have also been waiting.
You Free Realms players.
You free realmers. They've been waiting 2 years for the PS3 version to come out, and I've been really looking forward to it. And I'm probably a stupid consumer for assuming, that Free Realms PC would be compatible with Free Realms PS3. But, to boot it up and to be presented with that when I have a bunch of station cash and when I have a lifetime account is kind of bullshit. I can't even delete the character I made.
That is complete bullshit.
So... I don't know. So I said, fuck the PS3 version. I'm going to play it on PC because I haven't had a whole ton of time to game. I've been playing, obviously, some pretty casual and short games, and so I've been playing that.
I played some of the PS3 version too, and I mean, wasn't it pretty janky when you played?
Well, it takes like 5 minutes to load.
Yeah, loading times are awful.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, the game is not that. I mean, okay, yeah, it's an MMO, but it is not graphically intense at all.
Yeah, no. It's fucking Free Realms. It was made for to play on any computer out there.
Yeah, exactly. It should load fine. It should not be like that.
Yeah, it takes 5 minutes to load. I didn't really have any other terrible issues. Like, once you're in the game world, it wasn't too bad jumping around and stuff. But the interface itself and the controller stuff was kind of confusing, pretty cumbersome. I mean, Free Realms isn't known for its great interface, but it's even, I don't know, it controls well on the controller, but just trying to go through the menus and stuff, nightmare. It's not fun. So
that sucks.
Yeah, I nixed that, started playing the PC version just a little bit. It got cut up. They added some sort of like this farming game. It's not like the farming minigame, but it's kind of like Farmville where you have seeds and you can till and do stuff like Farmville and whatever else. So I don't know. I've been playing that casually. PS3 version though, totally disappointing. So
gotcha.
Whatever.
All right.
Shit. All right.
Bummer. No, it's fine. Jason, what you been playing?
We talked about Portal 2 last week. I finished that.
Woo. Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. Do we want to talk spoilers later?
We can.
I gotta get off for that because
we'll do it like after the show. Sure.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want to say much more, but it's awesome.
It was fantastic.
God, it was so good. But I don't really want to say much else until we talk about spoilers.
Yeah, I even started a run on the PC, but I haven't gotten too far into it yet.
Yeah, I started another run because I want to do the commentaries.
Oh yeah, I had neglected to even remember that they did that, and I was listening to the Giant Bombcast. They mentioned that, and I was like, "Oh shit, that might actually be worth starting over again than doing that." So,
which platforms did you guys end up beating it? Well, Steve, it sounds like PS3, but Jason, what did you beat it on?
I beat it on PC.
Okay. Yeah, PS3 here. So it really wasn't that difficult with the controller. Even we had kind of talked about last week that I was a lot more comfortable on the PC version, but there wasn't anything major even at the end that was difficult with the controller. I mean, it felt really good. So
yeah, not a lot of precision needed in that game.
No,
really.
And they do
Well, I mean, but it's precision, but it's stuff that you can take your time to get precise.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the difference. I mean, we're talking about playing console versus
it's not
PC.
Twitch.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's totally fine to beat. And I was thinking about replaying it on PS3 just to play on the couch and go through that. It's completely fine. Yeah.
It's yeah. Well, it's knocked Crisis 2 off my best game so far this year. So
Yeah, I can totally see that. Yeah, it was a great ride, and I was the day I beat it. I went out to I was kind of playing at home. Then I met Shannon for dinner, and I was like so excited to tell her like the ending is that good. Where I was like, and she's like, okay, I don't really want to hear the ending. And then she saw that I was so excited. She's like, okay, tell me. And then she was like, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, if you can play it, play it.
I hate guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
But have you been playing anything else?
Yes. Offline, because I bought it on PlayStation, but I have been playing some Mortal Kombat.
Ooh,
And what do you
how
think?
is it?
Say what you will, I am in love with Mortal Kombat.
Awesome.
It is so good.
I don't know what I would say about it because the more I'm hearing about it, the more I'm intrigued to try it out. But I know I can't.
I want to be cautious to someone like you because it's more of a noob fighting game. And and that's why I'm enjoying it. So I don't want to talk it up so much that you buy it and then you're upset with it.
Well, I hear people on other podcasts talk about it, and I get like excited to hear about the game. And watching some like videos, it looks really good. But then watching videos of actual people playing it that know what they're doing, and just seeing the like take half of your life away, juggle across the screen back and forth is just like.
Yeah, I know.
I can't stand that.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't. From my perspective, my playing skill, I'm really enjoying it, and I haven't been able to play any online because of PlayStation Network, obviously.
Right.
I really want to check out King of the Hill mode. That mode sounds very intriguing.
What is that?
That's where it's up to it's like a lobby system, and people can watch and talk while people are fighting, and it like pairs two people up, and when one person loses, it kicks them to the back of the line. So you're like waiting in line to go back up and fight again. It seems like a very cool arcade style way to pair things.
They have that in Street Fighter too.
Yeah, but
I mean, there's like lobbies that you can enter, and then that's what happens is you go to the bottom, and then if you're winning, you just stay right there at the top and continue to play. But that's what it sounds like that is.
Jason, what was the last Mortal Kombat game that you played? I don't know, seriously.
3.
And which is your? I guess I can expect, but like, what's your favorite one?
Mortal Kombat 2. Well, now it's this one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I was obsessed with Mortal Kombat 2. Like, that's when you guys talk about fighting games and Street Fighter 2, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But Mortal Kombat 2 was my first and pretty much like only fighting game love. So this trumps it for real?
Yeah, when I first started playing it, and I think I had sent Steve a message like the graphics are pretty ass. Like it did not leave a good first impression. But once I started playing it, like this game feels so good.
Really?
But it is Mortal Kombat. I don't want to put out there that if you did not like Mortal Kombat before, you will not like this. But if you liked 1 through 3, I think you'll really like this.
See, I'm in the same boat with both of you guys. I really like 2, and once 3 hit, and something about it just I couldn't get into.
Yeah.
But part of why I like 2 so much, and it's like a dumb reason to probably like it, but is because of Kung Lao. That when they introduced Kung Lao in 2, and I just fucking loved that character, and I know he's back in this one too. So I was like,
let me say, the story mode in this game is the best story mode I've ever played.
Yeah,
and it is. I mean, it's super cheesy. It is. You're at this tournament. It's like the first movie, kind of.
Right. It's the way it's been presented. It sounds very B movie.
Yeah, it is, but it makes logical sense. Like you follow these different characters, and okay, you're Johnny Cage at first, and then you get in these stupid, ridiculous fights that just break out of nowhere. But some of them make sense because of the story. I mean, you're at this place for a tournament, so I don't know. The Mortal Kombat mythology has never made sense, but has always been kind of intriguing to me. Mm-hmm. And this is a good job of okay, you're in this place where the tournament's happening, and here's these little stories, and these fights break out relative to the story, and that's been really cool. And the tutorials in the game are...
There are tutorials?
Yes, there are tutorials on how to fight, and there are also fatality tutorials for every character, where you can go just practice and get your moves going and
tell you how far back you need to be and shit.
Yes, exactly. It does a little box on the ground.
Crazy.
You should stand with this within this area for this character.
Dude, back in the day, we had dot matrix printouts of like the
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just used to looking. Here's my dot matrix printer printouts of how to do this. Yeah, like no, this is really nice and lays it out for you. And I haven't done any of the tower challenge stuff, which I heard is really cool. I've only done story stuff. I'm still working my way through it, but it is awesome.
So is the cast of characters? I haven't really played past 3, but do they have characters from 2, like Melina, Katana?
It's all characters up to 3, and they don't do anything past it.
Seriously?
Yes, they're going back to how it was. Yes.
That makes me so Reptile, Sub-Zero, Scorpion.
Yep. They're all in it.
Nice.
Smoke kicks ass.
Really want to play
Did
this.
any of you watch the Giant Bob Scrub tournament?
No.
You should. It was a lot of fun. It was all guys who had never played it, and Jeff Gerstmann was kind of narrating it, and they did a tournament, and then Jeff played the winner, and it was a good fight. I mean,
awesome.
I don't know, that tournament was a lot of fun to watch, and the finals end up being Jeff played the guy Smoke versus Smoke, and I don't know, it was a lot of fun. You guys should watch it.
I'll have to check it out.
Steve, you've been talking about watching fighting tournament fights.
Oh yeah,
I've watched that. I've been watching some Street Fighter, some Marvel vs. Capcom 3. God, those are so much fun to watch.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that fighting is back.
Yeah, I go to shoryuken.com a lot, and there's almost always people that they like SRK Live, I think, is the Xbox gamer tag for their their room that they usually always keep open on Xbox for Street Fighter 4, and there's almost always at least a few people in there playing, and you can go in there through their site and actually watch them on Justin TV.
I thought you were going to say Justin Bieber. I'm sorry.
On Justin Bieber. You can watch them on Justin Bieber's ass. But you can go and watch them online. They live stream it 24/7. And that's very addictive to watch, because usually the people that play in there are pretty good. I mean, there are people that go in there that are not as good like me, that will jump in there and get their asses handed to them. But it's very interesting to watch better people play, and it really helps out, especially when somebody goes in there with a character that you use, and you can kind of pick up ideas of okay, that's what they do in that situation to get around shit. So I mean, it's very helpful, and it's very interesting to see how people use different characters. But like today, I was even watching a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament that's going on in Ohio. I think it's probably over with by now, well, especially by the time that you're listening to this. But especially very high-end people like Mike Ross, who's one of the best fighting game players in the country. He's played Street Fighter 4 and shit. Watched the round where he got beat by this guy who only had a sliver of life left, and Mike Ross had 2 guys still left in his repertoire, and the guy fucking took him down. It was just one of the most amazing things to watch.
Yeah.
Everybody because you could see people in you could see that the camera actually showed everybody in the crowd and the game going on.
Yeah,
and just being able to see
awesome. Yeah.
Seeing everybody in there just going fucking nuts when that guy beat him. It was amazing. But like what you were saying, it's fucking awesome that fighting games are back. I'm so happy, but I'm kind of worried too. I mean, I'm honestly kind of worried that they're going to flood the market with these. It's same things happened back in the late 90s, that there's just so many of them coming.
I think nowadays it's so niche that those crap games aren't gonna sell.
The what one?
The crap games nowadays aren't gonna sell.
But that's the thing.
Primal Rage.
There's so many good ones. But there's so many good ones. Mortal Kombat's good, and but it's the same ones, I guess. Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Well, those should sell. I mean, but if a crap game comes out, I don't think it's gonna sell at all, because it's not gonna have the hype. I think those games are selling, but they're not selling to mass market. They're selling to the people who are in the know that know that those games are good. It's not like a first-person shooter where you can throw crap out there and it'll sell so many copies. These are games that people are hearing that they're getting info from online that these are decent games and those are going to sell.
I guess you're pretty much right, and it is the exact same games that are doing well again. But I'm interested to see, like, next year we're looking at Street Fighter Cross Tekken is going to be coming out, and it actually looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It looks fantastic, and it's something completely new.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to how that's going to do. And then there's like King of Fighters 13 is supposed to be coming out. 12, I guess. I have not played it, even though I'm a big King of Fighters fan. But I've just heard
wasn't that great.
I've heard it's horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't think the online even works in it. But 13 is like in arcades overseas, and it's being tested quite a bit. And like
we got arcade. Yeah, and we got arcade edition coming out soon.
Yep, Street Fighter 4 arcade edition is coming out in June. So I mean, there's a lot. And I guess it's not really a problem of overcrowding in the market, but I guess the worry then turns into are they going to go through the same problem that they're going to try to iterate on them too much? And are they going to turn them into crap? I mean, because that's kind of what happened with like Street Fighter. They iterated on that so much.
Yeah, but again, we're looking at 2D fighters. That do we think that Activision, EA, all these other companies are going to throw out a bunch of these things? No, I think it's going to be.
No. I'm just talking like just back in the day, like just Street Fighter. They did so many versions of it.
Oh yeah, that's true. There are a lot of people, from Street Fighter crowd that are not too happy with Arcade Edition.
Right. Well, that's why they're they're letting you in Arcade Edition be able to play the non-arcade rules or the arcade rules when you go online.
Yeah. So, that is a valid concern.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. But for now,
I'm just going to enjoy that they're back.
Exactly. Yeah, and I just bought a new fight stick, so I'm super excited.
I want to hear about that.
I
want to get one.
Huh?
I want to get one. Cause
I don't think this one will work for you because I think the cord's even shorter than what my other stick was.
One thing when we were talking about...
that's right.
I feel like a complete idiot because I never even thought about... My couch is pretty far away from my TV, and I'm using a wireless fight stick that I got with Tekken 6, which it's been okay, but I know I've especially noticed in Mortal Kombat, it doesn't pick up all my button combinations in order, and one reason I didn't get the wired fighting sticks was I wouldn't get because the cords are like 5-10 feet long, but I feel like an idiot because I can't remember who it was on Twitter said, well, why don't you use a USB extender? And I should have totally done that. I should have bought a decent stick and done that. But
yeah,
you got that one, that arcade quality stick from Amazon.
Well, yeah. Well, I had a Mad Catz, just a standard edition stick.
Yeah, you had done some work to it.
I had just swapped out all the parts for sauna parts, and then I didn't quite like the actual like case of it. It wasn't like wide enough for me. I'm not a fat ass or anything, but I sit with it like on my lap and play, and I always felt like I was squeezing my knees together to get it onto my lap, because it really wasn't that wide enough at all. But Hori made a stick. It's the Real Arcade Pro version 3 or whatever it is, and it's quite a bit wider. So I'd been eyeing it for quite a long time, and I had some extra like Amazon credits. So I was like, okay, I'll just get it. And I'd only been able to play in like the training room because of the PSN being down. But so far it's pretty awesome. It sits real well. The bevel on the front is a nice wrist rest. It feels good so far. It's a little bit awkward to me because it actually comes with a square gate installed. And the stick that I had actually put in a octagon gate. It just throws differently.
You can easily throw to the upper right, left.
Well, the octagon gate makes it easier for like down to side like rolling moves,
right?
Versus
which
like
is
doing
important in Street Fighter.
Well, it depends on which character you use.
Yeah.
So if you're throwing into the corner, it's a little bit easier with a square gate. Or if you're playing a character like Guile or Blanca that you hold a direction and then throw
like
the other
charge
direction.
moves, yeah.
Yeah, charge moves are a lot easier with a square gate.
I'm a big fan of the dodecahedron gate.
The rhombus gate.
Yes. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
That's fine.
All right, we're nerds,
I'm sure
yeah.
alienating everyone. But yeah, I'm excited to use the stick. I haven't really had a chance though yet. So.
Hey, I don't know why. Just go online.
Fucking
Yeah,
PSN.
just play it on PSN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, it'll get up. I just had to cancel my credit card. So.
Are you serious?
No, I didn't have to, but I did just to be safe.
Oh, you
so.
did? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't that big a deal, really. I just called up and say, "Hey, I need a new credit card." Okay, it'll be there in a week. I didn't have anything that was coming out in the next week, so it didn't bum me out. But have you been playing anything else, Jason?
No, that's pretty much it.
Other than that,
Whoa. I want to say something real quick.
What's that?
After being Portal 2, and I'm not going to get anything else here, but I have the desire to go play every Half-Life game ever. Because I want Episode 3 so hard.
Yeah.
It's never going to come.
No, but I'm going to restart. I'm playing Episode 2 again for I don't know how many time. I'm going to restart Half-Life 2 again. I don't know.
I need to finish that damn game. I never have.
My little hope was that, like, now that Portal 2 is out, and I'm sure everybody that cares is probably done with it, or at least started to play it. Yeah, sorry, Dean. My kind of hope was that, like, maybe at E3 they would say, "Hey, Episode 3 is coming," or "Half-Life 3 is coming."
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hope because, what else is out there right now?
Well, you saw the announcement. Like, Gabe Newell said that Portal 2 was probably going to be one of their last solely single-player games, which kind of told me there's not probably a lot of hope for another Half-Life.
Well, I mean, Half-Life had
be.
deathmatch in every version, so
Right.
So
That's true.
They're not going to not do Half-Life again. They're going to do it again. It's just
you think so?
Yeah, because they're never going to do Half-Life ever again.
It's been
that would be
it's been
horrible.
like 7. Hasn't it been like 7 years? No, 2006. It's been like 5 years.
How long was it from the first one to episode? I mean, to not episode 2, but I mean 2.
You got me.
It was a long ass time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they can never do Half-Life again. They're gonna. It's just what is it gonna look like is what's gonna be different.
Yeah, I suppose.
I assume there's going to be no episode 3. It's going to be Half-Life 3, and it's going to have Team Fortress 3 with it. That's
maybe
just informal view of it.
Could be. I don't know. But other than all that jazz, the only other thing that I wanted to mention that I was playing after last week's podcast with Uber Entertainment, thanks again for that. I went and played some Monday Night Combat, and I went and checked out the new map that they had just uploaded, the Uncle Tully's Funland. Mm-hmm. It is pretty fucking awesome.
I haven't got a chance to play it yet.
It's kind of corny for me to say that the Funland is fun, but yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It is a really good and well put together map. It seems a little bit more condensed than the other ones. But
it's not a bad thing.
No, but in like the way the jump pads work, to like fling you across the map, and having the big the bouncy thing in the middle of the ring, it's just a lot of fun. It really works very well. It's kind of dark. I mean, it's supposed to be kind of dark and like poorly lit because it's very old looking. But I think it could use some better lighting in the game. It just feels really dark. But that's like my only complaint about it. But just everything works very well on it. It's very, very fun. If you like Monday Night Combat, I really do suggest going and checking it out. It's great, especially on PC. Play it on the PC, damn it.
I can't remember. That was a free update on Xbox, right?
No, he's not coming out with that until later.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, they're basically saying that their updates are kind of free on Steam, and they're gonna pack them as like a DLC for Xbox.
I mean,
so
that's what happens on Xbox. So.
yeah, because of the long times that they have to put up with. So
Yeah. Yep.
so yay for PC players. It's another excuse to play it on the damn PC.
I didn't realize those guys were in Kirkland, which is awesome because it's like a stone throw away.
You should go say hi.
You should go just fuck up their shit.
I'll go fuck up their
This is
shit
for
when I'm.
multiplayer.
I'll go fuck up their shit when I'm over there for PAX. There we go.
Thank you.
Oh, you suck.
Are you
I
gonna
know.
provide reports from PAX?
I would be more than happy to provide, but I have a 3-day pass, so I'd be more than happy to.
Hell yeah.
We got exclusive coverage of PAX, people.
I can't promise that I will be sober ever.
I was about to say, it's just going to be like,
That's a prerequisite for reporting.
multiplaying coverage.
What's this about games?
This is I'm in a bar still.
What's this?
Yeah, you got the PAX box. Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm asleep in a beanbag?
This is a nice pop design. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
there you go. Oh, Lemmy Winks.
Well, I think that's it, though. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into any of the news because
talk about spoiler talk after the credits.
yeah. So if you want to
Portal
listen to a quick bit of spoiler talk, so basically, for those of you who have already beaten Portal 2, stay tuned if you care to listen to us regale it.
I'm not one of those, so I'm not welcome.
No, you're not.
Get the fuck out of here, Dean.
Oh, it's totally cool. I'm gonna get the fuck out. Drink more beer.
See you, Dean. Bye, everybody.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go! All the plants are going to die.
Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.
Portal 2.
Yes.
We both beat Portal 2.
Yeah, we did. Initial thoughts?
That's fucking awesome.
My favorite part was the achievement you got after it was over. Lunacy. Do you remember that?
I don't know that I got that because my PSN was down.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't know if it popped up, but it was called
I'm sure
Lunacy.
it was the trophy. Yeah, it was a Steam achievement. It said Lunacy, and when you hovered over it, said, yeah, that happened. Which I thought was perfect, yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, it's just the thing that got me about the game, especially the last, I want to say hour. I think it took me between 7 and 8 to beat it. I'm rounding very vaguely, but I think it was around there. I would say 7. But the thing that really got me is like that last hour. So much of the shit over the course of the game, just that was sprinkled on little tidbits that didn't even seem important to know, that in the last hour shit started happening and it like kicked in your head that, oh, this was mentioned before. So this is actually like this was a major point that just really is making total sense now. Just the way that they sprinkled that shit on was just fucking amazing.
Like, for a couple examples, what are you talking about?
Like I'm the reference that Cave made about the moon, about the moon dust or whatever.
The moon dust, yeah.
Like that reference, it didn't seem vastly important at the time to me that he would make that reference. I was like, okay, that's what they're using to do the portal shit with.
Yeah.
But then at the end, with the roof pulling off and you seeing the moon, having it like staring you directly in the face.
It all came together.
And
right at that moment, yeah.
Did you immediately shoot the moon, or did you? Because what I did personally, I guess, was I looked back down at Wheatley being like having that the other side of the portal sitting right underneath him, and then it clicked in my head. It wasn't even like, oh, I should shoot that right away. I like looked down and went, oh, fuck, and then looked back up.
Yeah, I didn't click with me right away. At that moment, it didn't really give you a lot of range and where you looked at. Mm-hmm. It kind of limited, like that was one of the only moment in the game where it limited to where you could look. Mm-hmm. And I did the same thing then. Like, okay, I can't look around. What am I supposed to do? There's the moon, and then I noticed the portal that I still had. They're like, oh shit, there's no way that could work. And as soon as you fired off, it was that oh shit moment, like, oh my god, this is awesome.
And how fucking brilliant was it with the setup in that last fight that the sprinklers kicked on and washed everything away, except for what was right under him because he was blocking.
Exactly.
It was fucking perfect. It was goddamn brilliant.
He had a great response, like, oh, the water washes that off.
Yeah.
I should have figured that out. Know that. Yeah. And I loved the whole the arc of GLaDOS leading up to that, to where I got goosebumps when Cave Johnson was talking and his secretary was talking, and she was like going, how do I know that? Like, and she started to talk along with him. That was like, oh, like, I mean, the mythology in that just kicked up a ton. It was awesome.
The part that gave me goosebumps was when he was spouting off about the lemons.
Yeah, and she got into
it.
And
she like even almost I think there was one point where she almost was talking in unison with him.
Yeah.
Like, like getting into it. My wife kind of like gave me this like, what the fuck are they talking about look. She put down her Kindle for a moment and looked over at me like, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, that whole moment, that's what gave me fucking goosebumps. It was just like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on?
That was when it really started to tie together and you started to take notice, and it went on a really interesting path to where Cave Johnson was getting sick and going on about how he wanted to be uploaded to something, and you could kind of see where GLaDOS came from.
Mm-hmm.
And to see her arc to where she felt for you, and it was hilarious afterwards when she said, and that's deleted. I learned a lesson from deleting that. And the lesson, that lesson made complete sense, that you were too much trouble to deal with, and she wanted you the fuck out.
Yep. Just go.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What did you think about the puzzles starting in old Aperture?
I thought they did a really good job of the difficulty wise. It spiked with me in the Cave Johnson areas.
Yeah,
that's when it got
like when you go down to the subfloors of like the old Aperture stuff.
Yeah.
What did you think about like from that point on? I agree with you at the spike in difficulty. Like I wouldn't say it was a spike in difficulty, but it was such a change of what you were doing. It made
sense in the story.
Oh,
you were dealing with these different gels, and that's when the puzzles were the best.
Well, I guess I'm referencing even before you get to the gels, like just the space that you're dealing with.
Yeah,
it's so drastically different from what you were used to.
Yeah, because you were used to a confined setting before, and now you were dealing with these spaces that. Logically were not meant to be solved. You were trying to traverse from place to place.
Yep.
And I thought one of the most interesting parts of the game were those parts were very, very difficult. And I remember there were parts where I had to quit the game and then come back and like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And I did my best of avoiding spoilers, and I didn't really check any spoilers throughout the game. But what I thought was really funny and tying to character was when you finally went back to where Wheatley was in charge, those puzzles were much easier. And they were supposed to be because of the character of the game.
Yeah.
And I thought that was an awesome twist at the end of a game to where you got to this point, and I mean, you would think puzzle-wise the last puzzles are the hardest, but no, you're dealing with a guy who's not that smart because of the way he was programmed.
Right.
But he's pissed at you. So I don't know. I thought that part was very interesting for a game like this.
I remember going back to the gels real quick. There was a moment. There was a pretty elaborate puzzle involving the gels, and it was one of the moments where my wife was actually watching me. And I think you'd already done like 3 or 4 of the other gel puzzle like areas, and going with you, those seemed very fun. They were just satisfying, fun. They weren't overly hard, but they were you had to think
outside the box.
You had to think in steps and like have to be able to go back to other steps to complete future steps. But there was one part where I'm sitting there, I'm like kind of mumbling to myself as I'm playing the game, and I had kind of like, okay, it like clicked and I had figured it out, and I was running all over the place and laying down gels in different areas, and my wife's watching me and she goes, I'm glad you know what the hell you're doing, because I don't know what the hell you're doing. And I was like, well, I go, it kind of like leads you up into this. It's like if you were playing it, you'd probably get it too. And
once you figured out the first step, like everything logically fell into place.
You can kind of, you'll just see it and it'll pop, and it's, again, everybody says it, but it's something worth saying, that it's a game that when you figure it out, it makes you feel so smart. But yeah, the funny moments in the game, the one thing that cracked me up was every chapter has like its own title. The part where you're facing Wheatley and he's got all of those panels with the spikes on them, and the chapter title comes up right after he says, this is the part where I kill you, and the chapter title is, this is the part where he kills you.
Yeah.
I just fucking lost it. I thought that was hilarious.
When you jumped out of that little spot and he like made everything come, I was like, oh no, you're fine. Like he was, his delivery, I love GLaDOS, but I mean, I enjoyed him more in this game. You did not play all this game, Shannon. Yeah. Shannon loves GLaDOS. She's talking off mic, but the way he delivered things, and there was one part where and you know what I'm talking about, where you're gonna jump out of an area, and he hears a noise because he's trying to chase you down. He's like, "Oh, did that kill you? Please tell me that killed you." No, he's like, "No, okay, I'll be right back. I figured out something awesome that's gonna kill you. Just hold on, I'll be right back." And the way he delivered stuff was fantastic. And after the end of the game, when he's sucked out into space, and you get that sincere apology from him, like, you know, I'm really truly sorry of what I did of you. I found that really enjoyable, because if you look at his character in the game, he was hooked up to this thing that made him do something, and he was trying to help you before that happened. He kind of was a tragic figure.
Yeah.
When you were looking at it,
because it just became stupid with power.
Yeah. I mean, that's where he was, and before that, his whole purpose was to help you. And then after he was removed, his whole purpose was he's sorry because he fucked you over.
Yeah. Well, because like she had said that he was designed to be like the biggest moron or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I didn't get that at first either, because like throughout like the beginning part, while he seemed kind of daft, at least like he was genuinely trying to help you out, and for the most part, he seemed to be doing a decent job of helping you out. So I was like, I don't get the moron part.
Yeah.
Huh?
He outsmarted her. I mean, the whole build up to where he replaced her core.
I didn't get that moron part, and it was just the fact that when he had the power and was able to control all this stuff, he couldn't do
it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's
one of my favorite parts of the very, very beginning was when he's hauling you out of that place, and you know he's moving the room, and he's telling you like, in case anyone asks what happened, no one's gonna ask. But in case anyone asks, everyone's alive. I know. It was. Last time you saw everyone, they were pretty much alive. I don't know. His delivery, it just cracked me up for the whole game, and I just kept looking forward to him. And
well, I mean, because is that then like was he the cause of everyone else dying then?
Yeah, it makes you wonder. I mean, and they didn't really. It was kind of weird in that part because he hints about how GLaDOS died, and it was a guy who killed her, you know, and then he's amazed that it was you.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Yeah, like what happened between that?
Right. He's just said that there was a long time where nothing happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
and they refer to Black Mesa in the game, so
a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, you really got to wonder, in timeline-wise, where does this fall?
Yeah, like versus Half-Life, when is this?
Yeah.
It almost makes you wonder if like the Black Mesa stuff like in Half-Life happened in that in-between time, or I don't know.
I mean, it makes me really want another continuation of story and Half-Life to see. I would love to see Aperture Science tied in there.
Right. I mean, well, the small little light at the end of the tunnel is that this summer we're supposed to be getting free DLC for Portal 2. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see what that's going to be. But bigger picture, I would love to see, like you, I'd love to see more Half-Life. I want to see what the hell goes on after the end, that just what the fuck ending of episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but yeah, not sure what else to say about it other than it's just amazing.
Yeah. If you've been listening, you already know it's amazing. So
yeah, you don't need to know much else. So, other than go play it again because it's so good.